Hi, I'm Laurie Marvald. I'm a wolfer, and I am here with Karinna Karsten, who I just met this week, but we feel like we know each other. Karinna has a fantastic, very interesting new dating app called, oh my God, I don't have it in front of me, Relationship AI, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry for that. I'm going to do a brief introduction, but I'm really going to let Karinna take the stage here. So this, as someone who has been dating on and off for years, I was very struck with the way she looks at things, the way she is looking at dating from so many different aspects. And there's so many things we actually do know about ourselves and we've learned, but we forget, and then we have other things from our past influencing our choices. And the thing that really comes to mind about Karinna's work and what she's doing, it is about us getting to look at the choices we make. And there's something about this app and her technology that actually reminds us of who we are and helps us to make better choices. And it was kind of like this joke of bringing a best friend with you on the date to be the person who decides or pre-date for you. So I love that idea that what she's doing reminds us of who we are. And Karinna, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, thank you so much, Laurie, and it's a delight to be on the show today and be talking to the Wolfers. I know that you're just such an incredible, inspiring group of women. And so I'm certainly happy to talk about relationship AI and also what's going on today for active daters and single people. So I think I want to start with that first and foremost. Is during this time of COVID, it's a deep time of reflection, and it's a time where if we're single, we can feel quite lonely unless we have a group like the Wolfers. And you know, as it would be normal to think, well, I am spending a lot of time alone now, but I don't want this to be my life moving forward. And so the good news is that this is an opportune time, more than ever really, to make real connections. And that means real connections with someone who could be a potential relationship, romantic relationship. So I'm actually excited. And one of the reports that came out from Tinder is that they have had the highest activity in history in the last month, including 3 billion swipes in one day. That's 3 billion.
Wow. that does
So
that speaks to the loneliness and people reaching out and seeing it as a resource.
Absolutely, absolutely. And virtual dating, and I know we're going to be talking a lot about that. Virtual dating is on the rise across all applications. And it's very important, just like we're having a virtual interview today. It's just that simple. It's like being able to jump on an app and quickly being able to have a video chat with someone you find interesting. So there's a lot of excitement around that. And relationship AI is a tool to help active daters make sense of their dating activity in ways that we keep really the record in our mind, but we don't have a way to visually see what's going on. And so this gives you the opportunity to visually at a glance see every interaction that you're having and how you're actually measuring that interaction, whether it be a text, a video chat, a call, and of course, when we get back to normal in-person experiences, and so that we can evaluate it and make sense of our personal life in a way that we've never had access to. So that's really the nature of relationship AI, and I'm happy to answer any more questions.
Well, why don't you take us through like a visual map of what it would look like and what the experience would be, so people just have a sense of what they would be. Some people are daunted by statistics and numbers. So how do you make this relatable that
Sure.
I could get on and I feel like this could be something that helps me?
Well, first I want to say that some of the greater challenges, and you're a dater, Laurie, so you can chime in here. Some of the great challenges that active daters are having today are trust, feeling you can trust people on the other end. 2, good dating etiquette, that people treat you with respect and vice versa. 3, ghosting. 4 is the actual matching of relationship intelligence. Does your relationship intelligence and the other person's match? And also just generally we have a narrow definition of chemistry, and I think that can also get in the way. So these are some of the challenges that daters are facing today, and how relationship AI helps is giving you a tool, like you said before, a dating buddy, where you can actually plug in anyone you're interested in. You could have met them in real life before COVID, or you could have met them on any number of apps. You can put in as many matches as you want, or just one. It's up to you and your personal preferences. And you can start adding some details. What are the things that you find in common? What are your personal interests that you share? And then get more detailed with each of the interactions. When you put in the interactions, we give you a way to evaluate very simply with sliders and emojis. You get to make clear evaluations of what happened in a text experience, a video chat, etc., that you can have as data that represents your personal metrics with a particular person that you like.
I want to add here, just to make this clear to everybody, this is not another dating app. This is a tool where it's almost an aggregate, where what you've learned from Tinder, Raya, Bumble, OkCupid, all of that, you very easily and very simply feed this information into relationship AI, and it becomes your friend. It becomes something. This is what technologies do. Not technology is now our friends. It helps you make better decisions or think about your decisions. So it's not at all another dating app. It's actually a brilliant idea where you will feed it information from all your other experiences.
Correct. Thank you for clarifying that. Yes, we don't do the matchmaking. We help you make sense of your dating activities so that you can have, and this is fundamental to why I created it, is to have better return on investment from the time you're spending dating. Because what for me was the pain was seeing amazing people, amazing individuals that were spending a lot of time, too long sometimes in the dating cycle, without enough return on investment of that time. And so I said, hey, there's a better way to do this. Just like businesses have been doing it for decades, we need to look at metrics. We need to have our own personal metrics to see how well things are going instead of how well we think they're going. Sometimes we think they're going one way, but they're really not. And so having that clarification, and it's very DIY. And what's cool about it is you can invite your friends to give you feedback within the app. They don't even have to be single friends. They don't have to be on the app, but they can give you feedback on a particular person, on a particular engagement. And that's fun because it's very social and engaging.
You know, one of the things that I thought about was, as someone who's been dating on and off for years, when I first think about bringing in a new tool, I feel like, how much time is this going to take me? How much, I assume, so you download the app, you'll have, at the end, you should tell everybody how they actually get it.
Yes.
And then how much time does it really take to transfer this information and then to have it start helping you in what you're doing?
Seconds, minutes. That's it. It's so simple. We have very simple drop downs of how you choose where you met someone, dates. You can calendar a date. You can sync it up with your regular calendar. So you actually have a personal calendar, a personal life calendar. And I think that's also very important as you get to see over a month's time, like what's really happening. in your calendar, and how to maximize and optimize for better experiences and more experiences. Oftentimes we say, I want to date, but then we kind of take the first action or second action, but then we tail off because we get sidetracked with all of our work and business of life. So this keeps you on track. It's a tracker to, just like any personal metric, like your steps or your weight or your ability to count any personal calories, things like that. It's very similar to that. It's just doing it in your personal life where you can make better and better decisions.
You know, I think accountability, everybody needs different amounts of accountability. And that's what you're talking about to some extent. Just in the fall, I came to a big realization that there was so much time, even though I vowed not a lot of texting, not a lot of back and forth, meet people as soon as possible. There's still a chunk of time of meeting them, figuring it out. And the vast majority of times I would meet someone at a bar or at a restaurant, and within 3 minutes, I'd know that if I had met that person at a party, I just would not have been interested. So there's so much pre-work that goes into this.
Yes.
That I had actually decided, I can't do this anymore. This is just taking up too much time, because it takes so long to know I would never have met this person. So I think what your app is doing is it's cutting out some of that arduous time that we all get really tired of.
Absolutely. It's exhausting. It's psychologically fatiguing, and it's frustrating. And so it's like getting to the chase. And I will say, right now in the time of COVID, virtual video chats, video dates are a great low maintenance, low cost way to actually find out, do you have chemistry? Do you like their body language? Do you feel like there's some personal interest that you share? You know, it's a very easy way to actually cut through some of this red tape. And then you can add those experiences and interactions into Relationship AI and start to see where that's going for you with a particular match.
Let's talk a little bit about how to get the app and set it up. Maybe you could give some people who are listening right now,
Sure,
or will be watching it on tape.
sure.
I think when we did it first over the phone, I got a little confused, and then you straightened me out right away.
Yes. So currently, Relationship AI Dating Tracker is available on iOS. We're going to release on Android in 2020. That's in preparation. And it's free, so you can download it free. Once you download it in the App Store, you just accept, you can read the terms and conditions and accept the terms and conditions, and then you're on your way. And you can put in a personal PIN so that it's private. If someone someone in the house might see the app, you have a private PIN. So I say, please put in your private PIN so no one else has access to your data. And then you start from there, and you start tracking your dating activity. And it is an accountability tool. It keeps you on track. It keeps you creating more and more success, and really moving towards fulfilling on the relationship outcome that you're looking for. And I'd say lastly, it does work for those in relationships who want to up their game in a relationship, and both partners can be on it. And that's something that I found, it wasn't where we had started, but it's something that I found that couples have been interested in, is that they go, oh, I've tracked my early relationship on a spreadsheet anyway. And I'm like, fantastic, get rid of the spreadsheet. Now you have Relationship AI.
So I have a question. So, I basically want to talk about the physicality of dating, right? So in a way, it's good for those of us who felt pressure on dates and didn't know whether we should get sexual or not, or physical or kissing or anything. So this definitely cuts that short.
Yes.
That said, it cuts all physical aspects short. And that physical touch, just holding someone's hand, seeing what that feels like, is such an important part of a relationship. So here
Yes.
we are on Zoom or on
Yes.
FaceTime. And do you have advice? Now, I know there's sexting and sex stories
Sure.
all over, right?
Sure.
But without, staying with whatever you're comfortable
Yes.
talking about, how do we go to that third and fourth date
Yes.
and keep trying to develop that without having that physicality, and then also not wanting to get kind of creepy about it?
Absolutely. Well, I think creating virtual dates that are active is a wonderful way to do that, meaning you can play charades. You could have a talent contest, not even a contest, but you share your talent. It could be singing, it could be something else. But I think having activity within the video is a great like basic step of moving into the physicality of it. Dancing together, putting on some interesting music and dancing. And I've even heard of virtual kissing. So there's virtual kissing. So I think, you need to take the time to develop into those stages. And yes, nudity, sharing nude pictures and sharing nudity is on the rise right now. I say, pace yourself.
I had an experience almost a year ago. A guy I got very close with in San Francisco, and I'm in New York City. And all I kept seeing him was from here up. And when we got further of getting a little bit more physical, he ended it because it ended up he was quite overweight and he didn't want me to see that. So in a way, if you have a certain body type that is very important to you, you get to see people by elaborating more on video potential. I think dancing, I've had several business meetings that at the end, the leader goes, now let's all get up and dance. And it's wonderful.
Yes, and I think you learn a lot about a person by how they dance, even if it's just in their living room. You learn a lot, and you can be goofy, and you can be sexy, and you can be all of those things. And frankly, there's no risk, no risk at all. And
Yeah.
I think that's the beauty of this time. Of course, stay safe. If there's someone that you are progressing with, don't run out and try to do a 6 foot away date at this point. Online Personal Watch says the last thing you want to do is make a bad impression by getting or having a bad impression by getting sick. So you want to, stay within the virtual realm until it's safe to move out into the real world again.
Right.
And relationships are our most important asset. And hey, it's a great time to start creating some new ones and one or two that could develop into something very meaningful from this point forward.
What do you think if people start sending you gifts? There's always Amazon to send each other things, and people who are rushing in. Like, is there a correct pace? Is that part of your act to help you with pacing?
Well, it's interesting because one of the virtual tools that's being used now is called live streaming. And there's a dating group called Meet Group that created it. It's called Live. And so on a bunch of properties, they're using Live. And in the live streaming dating experience, you can virtually gift someone. And I actually think virtual gifts are very nice because it's, cents. It's less than $1, and you're giving something like a little, emoji or virtual flowers or something. I think that's kind of sweet. I think when it gets into gifts, I feel like you need to have like some real in-person, unless, you're on here for months and you're like, oh my God, you've fallen in love and it's time to just start really sharing. I think, pace yourself.
Yeah, I think regardless, there is a big difference between electronic, texting, all of that, and then being physically together. So one of the things I've told a few friends, I don't know if you agree with this, is still take it with a grain of salt. If this goes on for months, just know you do have to meet at some point. And I think that's a hard thing to keep remembering.
It is. And I think, we will probably never see this time again in our lifetimes. So I keep saying it's a rare opportunity. So this rare opportunity to actually stretch yourself, open yourself, expand your consciousness in this capacity of love and building relationship. I think we've never had this moment. And so I just encourage everyone to just go for it. And again, low risk. It's a very low risk to put yourself out there in the virtual realm and see what comes back to you. And yes, if you make a real connection, absolutely, you're going to want to meet in person.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I'm going to check to see if there are other questions. I think we have. I think this is great. Maybe you could just say again the name of the company, the name of the app, and how to get it, and if there are any issues, what people do.
Sure. So Relationship AI Dating Tracker. It's in the App Store, and please download it. It's free. Look forward to hearing your feedback. There's a feedback option inside of the app. And also you can go to our website, relationship-ai.com, and you can read up on it. There's a lot of content, and my sister company is called Love TV. So we create content for both dating and being in relationship that answers every facet of being in a relationship experience and building one today. And that's lovetv.co. So there's two websites. They're sisters. They complement and support each other. And I look forward to you testing out Relationship AI and see how you're doing in the virtual dating world. I wish you much success. And thank you so much, Laurie, for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. This is great.